Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Well, this is Hal Coleman, and welcome to yet another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. I'm here again with my good friend, my longtime mentor, my brother, Mike Stewart.
Well, you know,
you there,
Hal?
Mike? Hey. You there?
Well, you know, I was eating lunch.
Well, you know, this proves that we're doing this live, right?
Well, it was live at one time, yes.
Yeah, it was. You know, I have people ask me, say, are those things scripted? I mean, y'all, I said, you know what? No. I said, I pick a topic, and then, and you don't even know what we're going to talk about until we get on the air, do you?
No, and that's what I love about it, because some of the best information comes from experience and passion. And you and I are passionate about marketing. You're passionate about offline strategies that have worked with your years of experience, and I with online. But at the end of the day, this is what's got to be part of your being, your DNA, is you got to know what it takes to build your business. And that's what we love. That's why if these were scripted, they probably wouldn't be as real sounding as they are.
I know it. And, you know, you got to put a lot of stuff in your head in order to get the good stuff start coming out. So guess what we're going to talk about today, Mikey?
Well, I ate my sandwich. I'm ready to get into some marketing gold.
All right. Well, you know, one problem that we have when we talk about it is, and I have it with my coaching clients, different degrees with different people, but is getting people to get off of their butts and start doing something. I don't remember who said it, but I repeat it a lot of times. One of my favorite sayings is, anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you learn how to do it well. But Einstein said nothing happens until something moves. So you got to get moving, you know. I talk to people who want to start their own business. They want to open up a branch office. They want to design a new vehicle. They want to hire an employee. They want to build a building. And I said, well, why aren't you doing it? Well, I'm just not quite ready. I just don't quite have my ducks in a row yet. So they blame it on the dadgum ducks over and over and over again. Now, if you know anything about ducks, you know that when ducks aren't doing anything except hanging out, they're just kind of milling around, you know, and no pattern, no rhyme or reason. But if one of those ducks starts going somewhere, if one of them starts walking off to go somewhere, or starts swimming off to go somewhere, or flies, the rest of them fall in behind it, and they line up in a row. They swim in a row, they walk in a row, they fly in a row. When they're moving, they're in a row. So if you want to get your ducks in a row, you got to get moving. You just got to start. You just have to make a phone call. You just have to swipe a credit card, do something to get started. And the ducks will line up. But so many people don't ever get started on the projects. Maybe it's writing a book. Maybe it's, I don't know. That's something that I struggle with. I struggle with it myself, and I know you struggle with it too. But when we do our podcast, going back to the fact if I had to script all of these podcasts and plan them out and write them out and memorize them and send you scripts, and we'd never do them because it would just take too much work, and it would be easy to just put it off and say, I don't have time to do the podcast. I'm not ready to do one today. I don't have my ducks in a row. But we just plunge in and do them, and we do that with our groups, and we've done it with events. I say let's plan an event, and then we'll plan the event and we'll figure out what we're going to say when we get there. But if we waited until we got everything perfect, we'd never plan the event. So agree or disagree, jump in there.
Well, I do agree. There's a place and time for structure and scripting, and especially in certain worlds like movies and TVs and songs and records, things like that. You really got to do a lot of creative writing and rewriting. But in your life, in your business, there's been a lot of wisdom that I've heard over the years about taking action. And of course, one of the dream killers of the world is procrastination. An old wise speaker named Willie Jolly said, the one nation you don't want to be a part of is the procrastination. It's because it's a dream killer. And just like you said, it's better to get started and do it poorly than to never start at all. You don't want to take foolish risks to the point that you can't dig yourself out of the hole, but then you don't want to be so paralyzed by fear of, oh my gosh, if I try this and it doesn't work, then I'll just never try it. Then you're like those ducks that are just never going to get in a row, and they're never. And you got to be a leader to get the ducks in a row. So there's been a lot of things that every time I look back on my past, I initially, from a human standpoint, had fear and almost said, nah, I better not do that. And I look back remembering feeling that I was going to procrastinate, I was going to put it off, I was going to be scared. I mean, there's a laundry list of reasons, but then somehow I pushed through that fear, that procrastination, that hesitation, and did it. And I go, whew, I am so glad I didn't procrastinate, because this great thing that benefited me and others financially, it's like just recently, selling my home in Georgia and moving to Nashville and really not knowing a lot of people here was a scary thing to do. But I've done so many scary things in my life, I'm used to it now. And now that I've done it, I'm seeing, and it's getting clearer and clearer, and the haze is lifting, and I'm seeing the vision of what I'm trying to do. And that's because sometimes you have to do what you fear. And then, so these are all old wisdoms that I've heard over the years. Do what you fear, conquer what you fear. Don't wait to be perfect. If you wait for it to be perfect, perfection is a crippling mindset. If I'm never going to do it until it's perfect, it's never going to be perfect. But go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it's when I back in 1990, I was working for a large independent pest control company, and I was in sales. They had an elite sales team. We wore navy blue blazers with the company coat of arms on it. We wore ties and expected to have our shoes shining. We were like an elite group of people, and I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life before, and working not very long hours at all. I mean, 5 days a week, and really I was probably putting in about 6 or 7 hours a day and making a ton of money. And it's like I went to sleep at night thinking, I have got this unbelievable job that it's a shame everybody in the world doesn't have a job like I do. I'm so fortunate. And one night the phone rang, and it was an older guy, a friend of mine that I knew because I used to regulate his pest control company when I worked for the state. And he said, Hal, listen, this is Pat, and I just turned 65, and I've always said I was going to sell my one-man pest control company when I turned 65, and you've always told me that when I got ready to sell it, to give you the first bid, and I told you I would, so I'm ready to sell it. So if you want to buy it, I'm giving you the first shot. He said, I've got a guy with a checkbook in his hand right now ready to write me a check for this business, but I told him I got to talk to one guy first. and it's like this knot welled up in my stomach. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, here's this opportunity I've been waiting on for a long time, and now I'm making all this money. I got this great job and everything, and I said, can you give me a week or two? He said, yeah, take all the time, take all the time you want. He said, think about it. So, I talked to my wife about it. I prayed about it. I went to see my lawyer. I went to see my banker. I went to see my preacher. I didn't know anything about running a business, a pest control business. I had been in the pest control industry for years, but starting a business, I was just, but my wife said, well, just do it. Don't worry about it. You'll do fine. You're smart. You work hard. You won't have any problems. Just do it. And I said, well, our house is almost paid for. I got to go refinance it, take all the equity out of our house and buy this company. She said, oh, I didn't realize that. I said, yeah. So now she's got a knot in her stomach. So she starts to doubt how smart I am now, but no. But no, so we just refinanced the house, took all our equity out, bought this thing, and never looked back. And I learned how to run a business day at a time, and got the thing going, and hired my first employee and my second one, and it just got easier and easier. But I came close to not taking that plunge because I felt like I wasn't ready. I didn't have my ducks in a row. Whatever they were, I just said, oh my gosh, I'm not ready.
What if you had told Pat no?
Yeah.
What if you told him no? Where would your life be right now?
I have no idea. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, I'll tell you that. I would probably still be working for somebody else, hey, there's nothing wrong with working for somebody else. But I've just always had this entrepreneurial bug in my head that's always elbowing me on a regular basis, saying you want your own business. You want your own business. You're an independent thinker. You want to do things your way, right or wrong. And going back to what you said about the writing, the scripted, that Academy Award movie, it's all scripted. But you know what, Mike? When the writer sat down to write it, when he came up with the idea, he just started making notes and then making outlines and then roughing it in. And, Mark Twain once said there's no such thing as great writing, only great rewriting. Mm. So it doesn't start out to be a great script. They work it and rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it and work it and rewrite it till finally it becomes molded into a great script. And so, you just gotta, if in your gut you feel like something's a good idea and you really want to do it, and in your heart it is, but you're just afraid to do it because you got so many unanswered questions, so many doubts. Listen, it's like jumping off of that diving board at the swimming pool and getting wet. You just jump off. Nobody's going to let you sit there and drown. They're going to grab you, and so you just jump off into the cold water, and then a few minutes later you're swimming around and you get acclimated. You love it. Next thing you know, they can't keep you off of the diving board because you're just going back and forth. So my message in this podcast for people is don't let your fears and your self-doubts and the naysayers around you convince you that you don't need to do something. No. If you know it's a good idea and it could benefit you and your family and your life and you really want to do it, do it. I went skydiving when I was 52 years old because I'd always wanted to do it. And an opportunity came up. Somebody invited me as a joke. Say, Al, you want to go skydiving with us? I said, hell yeah. They said, really? I said, yeah. I've always wanted to go skydiving, and here's the opportunity. And my wife said, you're going to do what? I said, I'm going to go skydiving. She said, well, not until you take out some more life insurance. So I went skydiving, and it was frightening, but I did it, and it was great. So you just got to jump in there.
Well, I think we need to surmise with today is about don't be what we call a fence sitter. Get off the fence, and I'd say I would venture to say the majority of the people that listen to you and me, Hal, have entrepreneurial spirits. They're in business for themselves, and the reason they listen is they want to hear your wisdom about running a PCO. And I've spent the last 20 years of my life learning how to apply marketing principles to online businesses. And so the thing you got to be aware of is don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't procrastinate. Don't do what you fear. Take action. Do it in such a way that you minimize your risk, but understand you got to be a risk taker if you want to be a winner. There's old stories that I've used to hear. If you expect to fly with eagles, you can't hang with turkeys. So, really see what kind of people you're being influenced by. And more importantly, just make sure that I tell my children, I said, if you expect to get along in life, do what Napoleon Hill says. Always go the extra mile. Give 150%. Do more than is expected of you. Be willing to work a little bit extra, and then the rewards are well worth it. And so, that's the message I think we're trying to get across today, and we appreciate people listening to our podcast. And our podcasts are not scripted. No. They come from the heart. They come from years and years of experience in related but non-related businesses. Hal and I both are passionate about helping people see marketing strategies, online and offline, that can make the difference of you getting a customer and a happy customer, or not getting a customer or happy customer. So if you ever want to discuss your websites or anything, you give me a call at 770-826-3662. That's my cell phone. And Hal, I know they can reach out to you for that great 1-hour consult that you do.
They can call 770-993-0004. Unlike Mike, I say my phone number slowly and clearly so that people can understand it.
Okay. and on your phone, there is a slow down mode for your podcast player. So if you really need to go back, and you can rewind it and repeat it if you need to. 770-826-3662.
Thank you, folks, for listening to this episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you'll give Mike and I a call and let us. We're glad to give you some guidance and some help to get you started on your way. And then maybe at some point as you get going, you will want to take advantage of our coaching programs. But if not, that's fine too. But we're here to help you. So, Mike, I enjoyed it again, my brother. And until next time, we hope everybody has a great day, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones, and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we've got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.